Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a new kind of experimental version of Sleep With Me we've never done before. So welcome. These are just bedtime stories from our podcast, Sleep With Me. And to make them feel fresh, these ones are from a couple of years ago. So if you're a regular listener, you might get a refresh. And if you're new, these are just bedtime stories from a show called Sleep With Me. They're strange, they're meandering, they're a little bit different. And all this is made possible by listeners like you, regular listeners like you. And so I just want to let you know that's how we're able to put the show out. And so if you are a fan of Sleep With Me, you listen to it on a regular basis, please consider supporting the show. You get ad-free episodes, you get ad-free story-only episodes, tons of other cool stuff at Sleep With Me Plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you're in a position and you have some money every month, or you say, hey, maybe I don't watch that streaming service, I'd rather give it to a podcast, think about your favorite podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, and support that podcast. If it is Sleep With Me, I consider supporting the show would be great. But if it isn't, or there's a podcast you listen to way more, brings you a lot of value during the day, please support that podcast. Podcasting is going through a different time right now, and your favorite podcast, the one you get the most out of, could use your support the most. So consider supporting it however they request support. Just check it out, like listen to the show or check out their website, or consider supporting Sleep With Me. If Sleep With Me, you say, oh no, Sleep With Me is the one I listen to the most, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond binary, if there's ever a podcaster who would be portrayed as a character with bangs over his eyes, with his head down and his bangs down, you know, that's a famous, is that a trope? Like characters with bangs in their eyes. Those are one of my favorite lists I've never looked up, because right now I have bangs. Some of my bangs are almost over one eye. They're just, here's something that doesn't have to do with anything else other than my bangs. My bangs are kissing my eyebrows right now. Not to get too deep, but really that's happening. And they're two different types of hair. I say, finally, coming together, spending time with one another. My bangs and my eyebrows reunited because of 2021, I've grown my bangs out. How many times could a sleep podcaster use the term bangs when he's supposed to be just introducing the start of a podcast to put you to sleep? It's time for Sleep With Me, not a hair podcast or a podcast about hairstyle. It's neither and it's neither. It's time for Sleep With Me podcast to put you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. Just a quick message here. If you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, if you're a regular listener, you like these new things we're trying out, like the story-only version of the show. If you're new, don't worry about any of this. But if you're a regular listener of Sleep With Me, or you're a regular listener of any podcast, if you have a favorite podcast, and it's not Sleep With Me, that's totally cool. If you have podcasts you listen to way more, or you get way more value out of, I totally understand that. Consider supporting that podcast. Podcasting as an industry is kind of going through a weird phase right now. Direct support from listeners it seems like it's going to be the future of most shows. And so consider supporting the podcast you really love. And you could do that. You could find out, you could listen to the show and see how they ask to be supported. Or reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you? Or if you can't afford, a few dollars a month, you say, hey, how else can I support you? But if Sleep With Me is the one, Sleep With Me Plus is the best way to support Sleep With Me. Sign up for Sleep With Me Plus. Not only you get an unbelievably sweet, different ways to listen to the show, but it's a huge help for us to be able to do stuff like this. But yeah, think about what your favorite podcast is, and then go ahead and go to their website, or if you already know how they like to be supported, support that show. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody, tonight we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 2. Later we'll be talking about Episode 3. But Episode 2 is Dance Dance Resolution. And I'm going to go through my notes, all of my notes first here, because I can't even... So it says Dance Dance Revolution. Then it says something like Author 22, pause on tape planner. So we'll have to remember that. Daily note log, attempt number 3, sitting on desk, big purple bow tie. French door, double question mark, montage kind of sequence, ketchup or new? Why sash? Why slash? Why shush? Something. Custom made sashes are out. Oh, why the sash? Oh, I have my sashes custom made. Near Griffin Q pause on day 2. Day 3, thinking Eleanor, life coach, town square, pizza tables with yellow clothes, picnic tables with yellow clothes, but it's really, what are those things called? Tablecloths. Cheaty in a sweater vest, Eleanor, professor, deontology, chibi, 128 or 28, maybe. Steaming, obelisk, against pleased Michael. Eleanor figures it out. Bad place. He laughs first. He snaps. Chapter 16. Michael hits record. Attempt number 11. Number 11. Positives. GD day 3. Hard pass. Day 43. David Hume. Bakery times 2. 3-hour splash ward. Oh no, 3-hour spoken word jazz opera. Baby, maybe they call each other baby. Dewdrop, Vicky on triangle. Nope. Bad place, daddy-o. Michael deactivates Janet. Butter out back, butter at back, better at back. Reboot your number 1 purple dress. 32, 57, 99, 108, door open. Bad place, 109. Double check door. Greg, Glenn, Tahani, Lurf. Galling returns, realizing sequence. Number 1 party with Sash. Number 2 town square chairs group. 3 at Fern. Cheaty and at a farm. Cheaty and a pig. Cowboy hats. These are all the sequences when Eleanor figured out where they were at, or different people. As a monk and line of monks, balsam and balloons. Eleanor holding balloons among a sea of cacti. Picnic table. Picnic situation, like one of those perfect picnic places. Like one of those, a meadow, I would say, with a big tree. Cheaty's running around. He's seen some flying friends. 5:51. I had to put WTF because there's like a being from a large shoe, small car being sliding by on like what could be some sort of contraption or a moving floor or something. By via Worden. Janet Reboot 2, mint green. This is like jazz poetry, daddy-o, because number 3, lavender, number 4, brown. Those are Janet's chill out, nope. Eleanor eyes, community meeting, everyone yelling. Glenn and Vicky share look. Michael, vodka, Chinese food, beard, sweatshirt, undershirt, bow tie, books, blueprints, covered over the desk, not Vaden, sweatpants, Eleanor is there. Towns, pasta paws, Closing bales. None of this makes any sense. I don't have the episode running. That's why, too. On a Stitch, Chili Not Cheaty, number 649. Day 55, Jason figures it out. No red zone channel. Blake Bortles, a bad place. Lots of more of those large shoe, small car people. Pause. Either like it gathered on one of the stair shelves in Eleanor's place. 802 might be the one. Michael with the skip. Cheaty, soup of the month. Chowder? Soup of the month? Chicken soup of the mouth. That was one of the stores. Vicky alone at Town Square. Turtle on her shirt. Office. Actually, it's a turtle and a flower. Eleanor and Cheaty. Eleanor spaced out. Chowder fountain. Cigar. They see Glenn and Todd and someone else. Eleanor and Cheaty run. Bad place. PANIC. Freak. What should I do with this? We could just stay cool. Janet is in maroon. Can we leave as far away as possible? Trains. Cheaty sits on left. Eleanor paces. Only one passenger car, caboose, and a engine. Janet goes choo-choo. House in the middle of nowhere. Knock on the door. Door opens. It's like kind of like someone you'd expect to be selling real estate agent, standing in the doorway talking. We go back to Michael versus Vicky. You can't even pull off those bow ties. Then we go back to the house in the middle of nowhere, which is Mindy's house. We pause for her. We should pause later for her apartment, for her house. Recap. She does some filling in. She has an old-fashioned TV. Maybe just stay here. VCR. Something. 4 favorites. Pain. The Billy Idol thing. Hides her plans. They go through the ways they figured it out, dealing with Michael. Well, the Billy Idol painting is where she writes down what their plans are to get figure out Michael. Michael, pink shirt, jacket off, tie untied on the bridge. Jason, hello, hey, homie. Planning in backyard. This is pointless. You are so me. Childhood bullies. You are so mean, not me. Childhood bullies when you never got tenure. That was a great joke. Eleanor. Guest to Vicky. Something. Is Ty in your way? Big reveal to Eleanor. Cannonball Run 2. I love you too. 8 days, day 20. Love only once. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm rooting for you guys. Mindy tells the truth. Reboot. It gives you power. On idea. They go to an ad. Her eyes move when thinking. Eleanor's train, sad face. Michael and Jason Lakes aside, slow walk and talk. Well, be quiet. 60-person dance crew. We resolved to dance. What, something, it whispers. He whispers as he says, and that night as the clock struck 12. It was dope. That time and by Jason montage, camera pulls out. Michael shows up at the front something door. I said, wait a second. I thought the large shoed, small card people were in the side of Eleanor's front door, but sometimes they're out. Like she has a little, kind of like a patio, something, some page town up, a new dance crew. And I think that's the end of the episode. Might even be the beginning of the other episode, but so now I'm going to watch the episode and run through it for you. All right, so this opens with Michael recording into like a reel-to-reel tape machine for, must be a 4-track something because it has 4 level thingamajigs. Those look like they're for output. We're seeing daily notes log, attempt number 3. And I said to pause it on there. So I did do that. VU. And he's kind of running through his experiment. That's when I noticed the front door, or they definitely French doors. Kinks are worked out. This is the one. I'm going to pull it off, Michael says. And be in the Bad Place Hall of Fame. And he's laughing. Eleanor's eyes open. Day 1, cool. Chris Baker's her soulmate's name. Did I figure out that was Aaron Rodgers? Tahani throws some shade on her sash. And Chidi yet. Sashes are out this season. She calls Tahani Giraffe. Oh, yeah, this is the other thing we wanted to do. So then we have Michigan colors and confetti and everybody running around, but giant giraffes and purple stuff, like in the Eleanor Chaos Dream sequence. It's giraffes, and she says, oh boy. Then she's thinking and pacing. She tries to call Janet, but doesn't know her name. That's, again, a progression of these 2 episodes. And she says, what if not sure if I definitely belong here, but I wanted to be better. Anybody like a life coach or a teacher or nerd here to help Instagram fitness model? I mean, that's like her... Chidi's sipping some tea or something. Professor of some kind, professor of ethics, moral philosophy, and focusing on deontology. She says, yeah, no. What else you got, Janet? Then we go to day 128. Michael, this is when, this is from the first, we already seen this, or I don't know. But this is where it says, okay, 2 of you got to go down to the bad place. And they're kind of throwing each other under the bus. And Eleanor figures it out. She says, wait a second. This isn't right. Michael's up to something. And everybody says, huh, really? She says, yeah, he used to like, this isn't a good place. Michael can't believe it. He says farts. Episode opens. Green. Chapter 16. He hits record, but starts taping. Attempt number 11. Positive so far. Eleanor doesn't like the house. Tahani and Eleanor don't get along. Jason doesn't like being quiet. Chidi's tummy hurts. So a lot to work with. Eleanor's eyes open. Cheeto, she calls Chidi there. Super Dark Jones. Anybody else? Then we go to day 43. He's teaching Hume. Treaty the Self, Jason's there. But she goes, you guys got to take off. My soulmate has a surprise for me. Seems excited. Tahani says, wow, you 2 are getting along these days. She goes, yeah, I'm kind of into Sebastian lately. A little hokey, but growing at me. That's where we go to the jazz sequence. Chidi's not there, but it's a 3-hour spoken word jazz opera about Chidi's feelings. Eleanor says there's no chance that could exist. Who's it? Cream of the crop, top to the bottom, my dewdrop. Vicky's playing triangle. Well, she's ready to play triangle. No version of heaven would have this. Michael does some jazz talk. Darn it. Real trip for the biscuits. Now we're all wet, daddy-o. And he snaps. Then we get our first reboot sequence at least this episode that I remember. This is when Janet's in a purple dress. And he reboots her slow motion to her tummy. Then attempt 32. Attempt 57, attempt 99, attempt 108. Recent data says that this is when Eleanor's watching the whole time. Spoiler. Oh, no, she's not watching the whole time. She just says, the door open. Did you say I was in the bad place? And then we go straight to attempt 109. Door's closed. This is like therapy a little bit. Eleanor's eyes open again. Different soulmates, Greg, Glenn, Tahani, Lurf, a golden retriever that doesn't have a name. Hang on, wait a minute. You know what? Holy smokes. This is a bad place. So she figures it out over and over and over again. There's just a lot of layers of comedy, of course. And then a lot of reboots of Janet. She's in a wintergreen, then a lavender, then a brown. She's saying different things to prevent the reboots. And she says, yeah, I can't do this. Then we have a reveal either this episode or next episode of she said the positive impact this has on Janet. Eleanor's eyes, Michael, everybody's not happy with him. Vicky and Glenn share a look. Then Michael's down. I thought he was drinking vodka, but he's not. It's brown. I guess I just saw the neck of the thing. I don't know. I was wrong. Definitely wrong. But this is like sad Michael. What else we got here? Picnic trees, WTF, Janet reboots, blueprints. Oh, Eleanor's watching the whole time. She says, what? Oh, his glass has a duck on it. This is the other one I wanted to pause. Sorry. Okay, so we got a couple of good town square shots with different signs. Let's see. A TV would not. Okay, so we have lasagna will come out tomorrow. ZD of the Stars. The pesto's yet to come. Holy Noki, and you get yourself some food. You go to the Holy Noki. You turn yourself around, and then you get some food. ZD of the Stars. So that's one. Then the next one is Knish from a Rose, Biscotti Pippin, Cake Canaveral, Beignet and the Jets, Crawler something. I can't read that one. But, and then on a stick, extra sticks, steak on a stick, bagel on a stick, hot dog on a stick, caviar on a stick. And actually, people are carrying around different things on a stick. Owner calls cheaty chili. This is like a sushi one, Ponzu scheme, sushi and the banshees. You would go back to Eleanor. She has way more lamps and multiples of the and more paintings of the large-shoed, what do you call it, small car people. This is when Jason figures it out. Way, way more paintings and knickknacks, I guess you'd call them. Michael says, oh boy, this is a low point. This might be the one, though. 1 week in, Cheaty's taking Eleanor. This is 8:02. Tahani still thinks Jason's a monk. Everybody's miserable. I'm so happy. Fingers crossed. He skips. This is the chicken soup for the mouth. Then he goes to the town square. Nobody's there but Vicky. And she says, you've lost control, so we're on strike. And she goes, I speak for everybody. And, you've lost your way. I've been working on an Australian accent that I want to use. And Michael says, "This is just about your part." She goes, "Yeah, I want a more important role, but that's my demand. Everybody else has demands too. 318 of us have something we want to do differently." Michael looks through it. Some stuff's possible, some might not be. Vicky, if I was to do some of these, it would be a giveaway. And Vicky says, "Yeah, I can work with you on some of that stuff, but the rest of it you're going to do." Then Chidi's teaching Eleanor Aristotle, but she's not paying attention. He goes, "This is only day 2 and you're tuning me out?" And she goes, "Wait a second. I got distracted. There's tons of books. Last thing I remember is nothing. I need a break." He goes, "How about some clam chowder fountain?" Eleanor just watches, 'cause she's sane. She goes, then nobody's around. And she's like, chowder is not something meant to be drank out of a fountain. But Chidi, sniffs it, tries to get That's when they see Glenn. And then Todd comes in. He's not in his human outfit. They're complaining. And, they're on break, but they're breaking the rules, too. And so they run back through infinite light, warm blankets. Eleanor says, "I knew it. Clam chowder was a giveaway." She says, "Should I panic? Should I freak? I usually panic, but I'm happy to freak." And Eleanor says, "No, we're going to come up with a plan." And that's where she thinks of Janet's name. She calls her Janet's in maroon. Is that the word? Maroon, right? That's a color, right? She goes, "Can we leave this neighborhood as far away as anywhere else we can go?" Then they're on the train. So Chidi says, "I know why I'm in the bad place from almond milk. Should have known it." And Eleanor says, "I think Jason, Giannu, and Tahani are probably in on it. They don't know because she just layers multiple jokes in there." And then Chidi says, "I can't believe then they start kind of having conflict between each other. And it's wooden seats. It's an old-fashioned train. They get to this old house out on the plains or whatever. And Mindy Sinclair opens the door. And she's great. She says, "Yeah, you guys have been here 15 times already. Did you bring what I asked for? Please tell me you remembered." And of course they didn't because they've been rebooted. "We've never met you." Janet says hi. Michael and Vicky go back to their conference. "Can we just stick to my plan?" And he goes, "If we do that, if we pull this off, it'd be good for everybody." And Vicky goes, "Dude, you can't pull anything off, not even those bow ties." Michael says, "That's not nice." And she goes, "I'm taking over, Michael, and I'm going to make this my version of the neighborhood. See, I've been working on it." He says, "This is insubordination, and you have to do what I tell you immediately." And she gives him a file folder. She goes, "I got a report of everything you've done, every time you've messed up, all in detail." And he goes, "I'm sure Sean would love to know how attempt number 2's going because, Michael's not been telling the truth." She goes, "So you're going to let me run things?" Then it cuts. We go back to Mindy's. There's sunflowers in her front yard. Mindy says, "Yeah, you come here every time. Sometimes it's different people, different combos. But you guys never bring me what I ask for." Her place is very neat and organized, but it's kind of like stuck in a different period of time. What do we do next? This place isn't bad. Maybe we could stay here forever. She says, "You say that every time, but you always go back." And sometimes you go back because you're friends. Sometimes, you're not comfortable with being my roommates. But no matter what, you go back, try to formulate a plan to deal with Michael. Okay, plan time. And what if I got a list of all your plans? She says, come on, Chidi, calm down. I'm here to help. She's got 1 to 8, I don't know, and maybe 15, 14 plans. Make Michael think he's in the bad place. Catch that magic panda, use her powers. That's Jason's probably. Says, oh yeah, that guy. Then we have thoughtful Michael on a bridge in a garden. Jason's looking for somebody. Michael's down. Hey, Jason. His jacket's off, his tie's untied. And Jason says, who's Jason? I'm a monk. Michael says, you know what? Can I talk to you person to person? I need somebody to run ideas by. And he says, okay. And then Michael says, okay, real quick, you're in the bad place. Then we go back to the planning sequence. Okay. Well, maybe we should blame Tahani, Eleanor says. What do you think? She says, this is pointless. We're trapped in some sort of Nietzsche's reoccurrence. And she goes, no more philosophy. And he goes, this is karma. If we can't learn from our mistakes, because our memories, epistemological nightmare. And then he says, you're mean, just like the kids that picked on me because they said I would never get tenure. And she goes, yeah, you know what? I'm fed up with you. And she storms off, goes into Mindy's place. Mindy's reading People magazine. Maybe I identified it before. I haven't got a good shot of it. It's got to be from the 80s or the 70s. And she's like, dude, Eleanor, I have to listen to you vent about Chidi 15 times in 15 different ways. You two are in love. I'll show you the video. I mean, she doesn't say that, but she says, let's watch Cannonball Run 2. But it's really a tape of them saying, hey, I love you too. And Eleanor gives in so fast. She goes, oh, Cannonball Run, I like that one. Also, there's an Anne Rice book on the top of the TV. I don't know if that's a hint or just one of the things Mindy's reading. It doesn't look like actually it's been read. It's mass market paperback. There's also some encyclopedias, it looks like, on the right side of her room, stacked on a table. Or they could be Reader's Digest condensed books. Yeah, there's 3 mass market paperbacks on top of Mindy's TV. None of them have been opened ever. I can only see what one of them is right now. Mindy's actually going through the book section of People's magazines. How many times did we say we love each other? Only once, Mindy says. So she says, yeah. I'm over you and your feelings and stuff. Eleanor says, yeah, I don't really say I love you to people, though, so it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And, just Steve Austin, someone I thought was Steve Austin. And that's when Mindy says, I'm rooting for you guys. Eleanor says, there is no us. We barely know each other, and that's when Mindy truth tells. She says, no, you've known each other for a long, 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 long time, but you're going to forget it anyway because you're going to get rebooted. But something gives Eleanor an idea. She says, we're leaving. She grabs the tape, but Mindy has another copy. Eleanor's thinking on the train. Michael says, I can't believe this, Jason. I tried to do something innovative, and there's beautiful trees in this garden. I tried to do something that would, treat humans in a new way. What are my options? Can't go along with Vicky's plan. That'll be a failure. Can't ignore her. She'll tell me, Sean, I don't have anything. And Jason says, you're saying a lot of words. I don't know all of them. He goes, I have a little wisdom I can give you. And Michael dismisses that. And then Jason says, I have a 60-person dance crew in Jacksonville. Dance resolution. We dissolved to dance. Donkey and Doug and I broke up. He quit the dance crew, started his own. Hashtag Doug Life. Challenged us to a dance off, and we solved that. That's when he says his whisper voice. That night as the clock struck 12. So that's cool. It's just he like there's a twist to it. And then Michael says, huh. Jason says, it was dope. The end by Jason Mendoza. And he says, okay, that actually has some advice in there. Thanks. He walks off. You got it, homie. Guess that's why I'm in the good place. As the camera pulls out, not pans out, back to Eleanor's. Michael shows up. She's already told Tohani. Jason comes in. We know what's up, dude. And Tohani says, we know everything. I don't understand it, but I know it. Your plan's not working. And we keep figuring it out, which means you're losing and we're winning. So you have two choices. Keep failing or realize we have the power. And Michael says, yeah, we're on the same page. I want to team up with you guys. And they say, what? He goes, yeah, I'm in a bind. I could use a new dance crew, as Jason put it. New best friends? Michael smiles. Jason tries to give a thumbs up, and the episode comes to a close. But in 2 seconds from now, Scoots will be talking about the next one. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. Now we're talking season 2, episode 3, chapter something of The Good Place called Team Cucaracha. And I don't know what chapter it is, but I did want to comment. Oh, chapter 17. I did want to comment, though, on these two episodes because they're both about 22 and a half minutes long without the commercials. The episode's A Good Place Not to Sleep With Me. The last episode was longer than the Good Place episode, which I love doing. But I will say that they, in a good way, they packed so much in that it felt like a much full, it was very full in a good way, 22 minutes, where I said, there's no way. So on the first and second time I watched both of these episodes, particularly the first one, and I was kind of arranging the events of the episode in my mind. I said, yeah, there's no way. There's no way this is 22 minutes. So they said, I must have mixed something up or something. But yeah, 22 minutes of really fitting a lot in. And so, in a way that doesn't feel like a lot. But when you're making a sleep podcast, that's a great, you say, holy cow, that's the most packed, 22 minutes is so packed full of great stuff. I could talk about it for 35. But let's not get off topic here. Let me find my notes. A Good Place. Previously, what? New best friends. Teacup or team up history. 20 seconds ago. Bobcats teaming up. He needs up. Chapped my nips. A little something. Okay, let's see. Previously, Michael's talking. They're listening. Subtitles were off because I watched something else on this. I'm in a bit of a bind. Could use a backup. I also like how they just run it right into the next episode, I think. Team up. You've been lying to us. Who lied to whom? Who created a fake reality? Who's wearing a beautiful purple bow tie that actually matches Cheaty's shirts? And it's our best option. Jason loves being on teams. Bobcats is the team name. Slow down, ding dong. He needs us. Why? And Michael says, because you're winning. I built this neighborhood, built it on rock and roll. He doesn't say that. For thousands of years to deal with you in an unpleasant way. You keep figuring out taking the fun out of it. Fun. And then Michael says, Vicky's got, she's going to tell on me. She runs a clam chowder place. Oh, a little bit chowder now? Chowder fountain? No, that's Bump Up the Clam. A little bit chowder now is the lazy river of chowder. And Michael explains this dilemma. She thinks she could do better than me. And I'm supposed to reboot you and turn you over to her. So how can we team up? We'll just fake it. I'm not going to reboot you. You'll just pretend it. And then on your own time, you can study ethics, Google mailmen, whatever you want. Can I play iPad? Sure, Jason. I got 2 chances to make this work, and I've done it more than 2 times. And if he finds out, we're all going to be in trouble because you'll go to the, bad place. Son of a bench, human meeting. Eleanor calls. Her arms are crossed. They go into the bedroom. Oh, Michael shows how there's stairs that are actually hidden. So she has slide out stairs. Son of a bench. Good place. Chapter 17. Yeah. Then they're in front of one of the many murals of large-feeted people. Jason has a lollipop. He does a failed lollipop flip or toss. Something, another big shoe, small car note that I can't read. It looks like dorm. 802 Janet, most advanced Janet. There's always another option. A single good reason. I'll get you to the real good place. Zoom and an ad break. So let's see what happens. Tahani's got kind of it's not a sunflower dress. At first glance, I thought it was because that's how pedestrian I am. Oh, it's a blow pop Jason has. It looks like it's a blue, which I think is like jazzberry or something. Or razzmatazz. Razzmatazz, I think, is an ice cream or a sherbet name. But he's really making the most of his handling of it. And then he does the flip, which fails, which is probably, I couldn't believe I didn't catch it the first. This is why the joy of watching something 2 or 3 times. He catches it, though, like a pipe. Eleanor says, yeah, I know I'm liars. Michael's lying. So then we get this Eleanor trust issue thing. No way we can trust him. But everybody else is like, well, but we got to do something. Maybe we're being, but Tahani's still holding the idea that she's in the good place and she's being tested by the 3 of them. Chidi wants some more information. We got to grill him like the flank of an Iberian. So then the doors open. There's clown effect music when the doors open and close. How can we trust you, bud? Oh, you can't. We can't. What are you going to do for us? Get you to the good place. Because, yeah, sooner or later, Sean's going to catch on, and then he'll shut everything down, and then that'll be it. This is your chance. Otherwise it's eternity. So you don't want that for sure. And then Jason asks about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Michael laughs, Jason's serious, and they all have a laugh. But I think like the Jaguars did something. Didn't they win or something? Janet, can you give Jason something shiny? Sparkler, he runs around. How many different versions of this place? Michael goes to board 802. Longest was 11 months. This one's only been going for a week, 7 days, 6 hours, 30-something. Barely know each other. What's that super tiny line? 8 seconds. That was the shortest one, but reboots. And that's when Janice says, well, every time I get rebooted, I get smarter. So, in awareness and ability. So I might be the most advanced Janet in the universe. She rubs her tummy and pats her hat. Then they say, wait, Janet's not with you? No, she's a good neighborhood Janet. I snuck her in to sell the ruse. Didn't work, though. She says, you keep failing, Michael. Thank you. You're welcome. Why do you look like you're human if you're not? Well, I'm in the Bureau of Human Affairs, so. And it took a while to get used to being human. And, I say, well, Mindy's fake. No, Medium Place is real. It really got on my nerves how many times you figured it out. And then she says, why? And he goes, well, lies are more convincing if they're true. Eileen Shelbourne was one of my fake names. Trust me, don't trust me, it doesn't matter, Michael says. We're running out of time. I'm your only option. We see some good shelves in Eleanor's place behind him. Eleanor says, you know what, this is like a line somebody's running on me. I'm not going to settle. I don't settle. So there's always another option. You guys do what you want. I'm leaving. Michael says, no, I need all four of you. It's the only way to make it work. And she goes, again, what's in it for me? Why should I help you? And then he says, I'll get you in the good place, a real good place. And it zooms on all three of their faces. Jason's not there. That's when they cut to the ad. Let's see, go through my notes. So, way to get to the good place, question mark. Another team meeting. Jason lies down in the background. I want us to get better. We see how Tahani, we see something, Tahani, other Tosh, humans, or something sad. Come to grips. Do you want to something? Oh, this is when Michael takes Tahani back because she's, so we get to see some of Tahani's, how she made it to the big farm. She's had an interview for International Sophisticate. There's orchids in the background. Beautiful views, like mountains. Some sort of like something probably in the Palisades. I don't know. Can you believe Camilla was the only child? You mean my sister? 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on her debut album. Something more about Camilla. Tahani's in a tie. Oh, so then we cut to like her post-induction party. And this reminded me of season 4 when Tahani takes a job working in the helping place. Let's see, season 4, something. I don't really think about you. Giant gold statue or golden statue, and Tahani tries to pull it down, and she's out. But it happened in Cleveland, so that's the main thing she's fixated on. Poems acclaim more. Then Michael does not need to speak. You were perfect. Perfect strangers? Perfect stooges, maybe? I want to be the person I pretended to be. We want to be beaver, be better, something. People lash out. Michael laughs at dung beetles. Just being honest. Best chance. Give me a number to improve ourselves. Eleanor's door has music and chimes. Janet, call me a train. Untangle. Fill it to the brim. And that's kind of the end of an episode. That's an ad break, so let's run it. Michael, they're talking to Michael. It's going to take me a while to arrange getting you to the good place. It'll take a while, but yeah, there's a way to get there. Potential method. Can I pre-board? Tahani says, is it nice? Michael says, come on, we're trying to focus on us. And again, Eleanor says, us, like, you're the one, really, us. And Michael says, yeah, us. If I could save you 4, then maybe they'll let me into the good place, too. Please, I've changed. I can earn a spot with puppy dog guys. And she says, what do you think? They'll really let us stay? And he goes, come on, we got to fool Vicky. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting rebooted. And then Eleanor says, okay, back in another team meeting. She goes, yeah, this is it. Jason sits down on a couch, then puts his feet up, lies down. This is wild, but maybe we have to do it, Judy says. Are you forking around? And he goes, I tried to learn about right or wrong, and I failed. So I want us to get better and stay that way. You understand, Tahani? I understand nothing. Jason says, same here. And she does not get it. She goes, I should be in the good place. I need to talk to your supervisor. And she does that in a really good way. But he says, let me just show you. Let me show you how, because we never showed you how you got here. And I guess it's about selfishness, which if you've been in the program that I've been in, you learn, oh boy, that's really, it's an issue for me. It still is. And he says, okay, well, in all the reboots, I never showed you this. So I was saving it to make you miserable because it's so hilarious and sad. But it might help you come to grips with who you are. She nods. So he goes, do you want to remember? She goes, okay. So we go to the interview. And it's kind of the interviewer is kind of like, just wants to hang with Camilla. And like Tahani's their second choice. Camilla turned down the cover, International Sophisticate. Tahani didn't know that. Please carry on. Do you think she'd want to be friends with me? The youngest person ever into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Remarkable. Are you going to ask me any questions or just comment on my sister? Yeah, she's impressive. Only 6 months her album's been out, and they induct her into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Waived the 25-year waiting period. And she goes, yeah, I'll be, doing some relief work, though. Should we talk about that? She goes, well, let's talk about your sister. We have a lot in common. Capricorn, only children. That's the only children thing. And then we go to Honey undercover, pretending she's working, DJ, dance floor, Camilla, tons of things for her. She's partying. Tahani's passive aggressive. She totally burns her, though. She says, who are you? Oh, you're a waitress now. Probably the right move for you. And she goes, how come you didn't invite me to your soiree? She goes, I had to sneak in here. She goes, I'm supposed to be photographed helping people, but I delayed it to tell you off. And she goes, you always make a scene and embarrass yourself. And she goes, I'm an embarrassment? Is that what you think of me? She goes, I don't think of you. That one always hurts. When someone says that to you, it really does. It has said to me before. And I said, wow, oh boy. But when it's the truth, it's the truth. So then Tahani pulls down the gold statue of her sister. She does have to work at it, like throw a rope around it and stuff, or just come down to the ground where you belong, and the statue does. And at first she thinks she's there's just good jokes in there. Michael says, that's your biggest takeaway is Cleveland. Is that all I really cared about? Outshining my sister, praise and acclaim. I mean, she gets, I did get praise and acclaim. I dare say on occasion, more praise and acclaim than my sister. Michael just looks at her. She says, oh, okay, I get it now, kind of. She gets a little down. Michael tries to help her. And he goes, I wanted somebody who thought they belonged in the good place. You were perfect for the people I was looking for. And she goes, oh, I wanted to be perfect at somebody, but not the perfect stooge. Oh, that was that. And then she says, I want to be the person I pretended to be. So she has a build a better Tahani. And then Eleanor's down. She says, oh boy, everybody's against Eleanor now. Why am I the only person here who gets what's happening? Chidi tells the truth. Hey, we understand the risks. This is our best chance. Oh, everybody's better than me. And they says, hey, don't lash out at us. We're not trying to say who's better. Jason doesn't know what's going on. And everybody's talking. Michael's laughing. And then he says, yeah, basically, that's when he's just kind of, and there's so much more to look at of the large shoe to small car people. Eleanor's bed is really well made. She has a desk. She has those air plants or whatever. I mean, I don't know what, I know she doesn't like her house, probably because of the design, but I'd say most of the other stuff is like, other than the big shoe to small card people or decorations, the place is fabulous, especially for one person or for a single person or like someone in a long-term relationship, especially with the weather there. So she's like, give me a second to think about it alone. She just says, okay. She closes her door chimes. She calls Janet, remembers Janet's name. That's important. Call me a train, fill it with stuff from Mindy Sinclair. I'm going back there. We cut to an ad. She's sneaking out with a big bag. There's also a tea cart or a drink cart in kind of one of the rooms. I don't know. She has like these glassed off rooms, but it's like a tea cart has a big, I don't know what it is, a flower vase? I don't know. There's something that's outside of my class range. Let's see what we got here. Eleanor sneaks out, a failed porthole in the door, it looks like, or it's like, because it doesn't look like it's adjustable. Cactus, make a deal so I can do homework. Is something? Oh, homework in secret, maybe? Chidi, tell the truth. 9 weeks. I don't owe you anything. I underlined all that with 2 exclamation points. Just because I like how it connects to what do we owe each other, one another, whatever the David Hume, I don't know. Good luck, sad Chidi, drops a bag, butterfly, something. Butterfly charm? Don't worry, we'll see it soon. Eleanor and Michael, he always helped. Glares Kitchen. That's what Chidi would do. Rolls eyes, open books, on our team. Jason, Team Cucaracha. I think Froyo, Cakes, 322. Yoga Aches. Oh, Yogurt Acres is back. Like your mayor says, I think Vicky says, like your mayor, I'm your mayor. I'm going to say a few words, a few hours. Then I said, is that a Pac-Man ghost chair? Somewhere, Jason's for Jason Froyo or Foyer? Janet, oh no, Jason ends up eating some, Janet, my purpose, I'm on board, team huddle. And the episode ends. So we have, let's see, we got Eleanor sneaking out. Oh no, the porthole is, oh, maybe not. Oh, I guess it is openable. And she says you put a pillow and mop in your bed to make it look like you're sleeping and you're sneaking out the back. She goes, I'm going to Mindy's. I'd rather live forever with a boring beige house with Mindy than what you're asking me to do. Make a deal with, Michael, who's on team not good. And she goes, we don't really know each other. She says, we've been through this 800 times. Really nice shirt again on him. They must be fitted really fits him so. Look, I don't owe you anything. I got to do what's right for me. Wow, if you really study their faces, like some great facial expressions from both of them. Eleanor turns back, thinks about it, drops the bag, goes back in. Goes up to Michael. A couple more questions. Sits at him side to side. Camera pans down. She goes, every time I asked for Chidi, how many times did he turn me down? Nope, never. Shoot. And he goes, yeah, no matter what I did, you confessed. He said yes. The whole thing. Now he's agreeing to be part of my plan. And he goes, he always stuck by you. And he always helped you overcome your biggest problem. My selfishness? No, 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 Michael says, they needed a perfect haircut. And he goes, yeah, your selfishness. Then Janet shows up, but Eleanor goes to the kitchen. It looks like everybody's having, oh boy, I didn't notice this ever in all the other times I watched it. It looks like they're having tea and cocoa. The only reason I say cocoa is because Jason has a straw. But they just have, or, you know, what do you say, Taza de Cafe. I don't know what hot chocolate is, but they just have white mugs. And to the left of, on Chidi's right, our left is a teapot with a little bit left in there. She goes, 99% Michael's messing with us, but we should help him because that's what Chidi would do. Chidi would do for me, any of us. And he goes, you're talking about me like I'm not here. That makes me feel weird. Eleanor rolls her eyes. All right, we're in. Michael says, you listen to reason. And she goes, on one condition, you have to work with us to be better too, with the professor. And he's kind of very resistant to this. He goes, if we're going to be better people, you're going to be a better person. He goes, no, I'm like a powerful being, a mortal being with abilities you can only dream of. She goes, yeah, whatever, dude. Might be Arizona dirtbag, human turtleneck, narcissistic, and not and super smart. Who am I? Describe me now. Yeah, but if we're all going to improve, and if you don't, I'm going to tell Vicky on you. Tell her everything. So you can join us or not. What's it going to be? You're running out of time, and we're your only option, bud. Michael nods. He doesn't say anything. We go to Yogurt Acres, Froyo Cakes, Town Square with Eleanor. 322 perfectly matched souls. He's giving her the tour. They're undercover now. Well done. I've only done it 800 times, eh? And she goes, how's my face? Does it look like I'm amazed that I'm in the good place? Am I a good liar? Yeah. Then Michael introduces Vicky. This hardcore, oh no, it was top point getter. Oh yeah, she's going to help us out. Best person, Vicky. Vicky goes, I'd like to sing a few words. She takes it. She says, Janet hit it. And she says, she sings, I will like a version of Gloria Gaynor. Michael has a peacock bow tie, goes to a commercial. We go back for class. Vicky's working on the party. Yeah, Jason has a pretty deluxe thing of froyo. Michael gives him a heads up. You know, they're going to try to get you drunk and make sure you do a bunch of crazy stuff, Eleanor. Oh, this is where we see the chair that looks like it could be a character in the game Pac-Man. Eleanor says, okay, get drunk and insult people. I can do that. Chidi, get nervous and embarrassed. Got that. Way ahead of you. Tahani, just be fabulous. Jason, you got to be silent. John, you the monk. He's got a gummy worm in his mouth. And then, you know, during the day, you know, we'll take ethics lessons, which apparently I have to do too. And I'm really looking forward to this because I like, you know, because I don't know, this trip back. And then he has a froyo. And they say, wait a second, what about Janet? Is she going to tell on us as Michael sits down with his froyo? And she goes, well, it took me a few milliseconds. You know, I can't lie, but my purpose is to make humans happy, and you're the only humans here. So I'm on board for whatever you come up with. She gives Jason a high five, and Eleanor brings him in. Cowardly traitor, 4 dum-dums, and a robot. Not a robot, Janet says. We're going to outsmart the bad place. And it's really like, especially, and they go on 3, 1, 2, 3. Michael's a little bit late, but they go up. And what'd she say? No, I still think it's better. What is that referring to? 1, 2, 3. Oh, bobcats or cucaracha. And Jason's very happy, and that's the end. So soon I'll be settling down for another episode for myself, but why don't you get comfortable? I'd do some thank yous. Thanks for listening again. Good night. All right, I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. I want to thank Laura, Natalie, and Remus. Thanks. Good night, Chalupa, W, and Seth. Thanks. Sean, Ian, and Eloise. Thanks, and good night. Jarrett, Cicely, and Neil. Thanks, and good night. Alexander, Adrian, and Mary. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. John, Adam, and Patrick. Thanks, and good night. June, Lori, and Winifred. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Alice, Nick, and Emily. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Audrey, Tony, and Maria. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Kathy, Sarah, and Ashley. Thanks, and good night. Nathan, Cara, and Karen. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Cynthia, Sammy, and Kathy. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Beverly, Patchwork, and Kara. Thanks, and good night. And Veronica and Sarah. Thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the show. Sleep With Me exists as a free podcast because the people that support the show directly and the people that support our sponsors, those are ways we'll be able to be free. And we grow as a podcast by word of mouth, actually, just letting people know about the podcast or about Patreon in general. I mean, podcasts in general. Like, even if you show somebody how to use the podcast app or all the free, let people know podcasts are free. I mean, in a sense, you don't have to, you pay for it indirectly, but that they're free to check out. You say, oh, well, yeah, they're hand supported and listener supported, so you get to listen for free. Let me show you how to use your podcast app and how to subscribe and listen. And you don't have to even mention Sleep With Me. It's just good for everybody. Good for you because you get to do something nice. Good for them because they get to discover podcasts. Maybe you could discover more podcasts too. Why don't you open your podcast app and just search what you're interested in? Like, I've never opened it up and put in action figures. Let's just do that. This is the longest thank you ever, but let's see. So I'm going to use one of the 3 podcast apps I use on a regular basis. Let's see. We'll go to add podcast here. ACTION. FIGURE. Oh, I spelled it wrong with an O. Action Fogger. Let's, action figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's then it gets into stuff related to action figures. There's at least 50 that come up just in an initial search. So anyway, podcasts, they're pretty nice. So that's and then they'll tell you past Scoots is going to tell you about our referral program next. Thanks. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message here for our bedtime story podcast. We're trying out, and I kind of said this, free way to support Sleep With Me and bedtime stories from Sleep With Me is join our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. You get rewarded for introducing people to the free version of Sleep With Me, including access to Sleep With Me Plus. But most of all, just think about what your favorite podcast is or one of your favorite podcasts, and then support that podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, but just to support your favorite podcast because they could use your support right now. And if you decide, Sleep With Me is actually my favorite podcast, well, wow, blushing, seriously, even though it's imaginary here in this context, and support it at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, or listen to a show you love and see how they want to be supported. Thanks.